Hey guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and today I want to talk about Thanksgiving prep. This could actually be used for any kind of party prep, and if you have watched any of my previous haul videos, you see that I am prepping for Thanksgiving. This is the way I prep for all of my major parties, all of my major holidays, because we tend to host a lot of people. And when I say a lot, we've done 40, 60, usually 30 to 40 is our normal, and we've been as small as say 13. But we host all the family gatherings, so I've had a lot of experience and practice hosting for large groups. I actually had looked at my Evite list, and I'll link a picture here. So I started using Evite 10 years ago, and I have hosted 40 some parties through Evite in 10 years. So that's an average of 4 large parties a year. So like I said, lots of practice. I have this down to an art. So what I'm talking about right now is Thanksgiving. It is the first week in November, and I have already been prepping for Thanksgiving in October, and I'm already prepping for Christmas in November. So it just kind of all flows together. But what I have been doing is every grocery haul or every grocery trip, I pick things up for Thanksgiving. So let me flip the camera around and show you my planner and show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so this is my planner, and this is one of the In the Leafy Treetops Mom on the Go planners. Now, the first thing you need to figure out is, one, when are you going to do Thanksgiving? Are you going to do it on Thanksgiving, or are you going to do it the weekend before, weekend after? And come up with your guest list. So this is the guest list I'm working on. And like I said, I use Evites. I just find it so much easier. And like I said, I've been using it for 10 years. But if you're one that likes to do the paper invitations or call or text, whatever you want to do, come up with your guest list, come up with your date, and go ahead and put all of that together. Get your invitation out there so that you can start figuring out how many people are going to be coming and knowing how much to buy for. I already kind of mentally know approximately how many people are going to be coming, and I always make a ton extra so that everyone can take home leftovers, and then Chris and I go camping the day after, so we take lots of those leftovers, and then we're able to send leftovers home with all the kids that are in college, so they have them. So I know I'm going to be cooking a lot. So I make a list of all of my dishes that I want to make. So I have my appetizers here. I'm going to be making a jalapeno cranberry type salsa dip over cream cheese served with crackers. I'm going to be doing a brie and fig and brie and apple phyllo dope bites over cheese, in the little phyllo cups. And then I'm going to be doing sweet and spicy bacon wrapped meatballs. Those are my appetizers. And on my invitation, I have down that appetizers will be served at 5:30, dinner at 6. Now, everything is buffet style at our house. Our house is very small. It is not large enough to do a sit-down dinner. So this is just what works for us, and I serve appetizers out on the porch, weather permitting. And I have drinks and appetizers out there, and as people show up, they can get a snack, they can drink, they can mingle, while I put the finishing touches on dinner. And then I'll make at least 2 turkeys. I'll do a large ham, and then we'll do dressing, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, mac and cheese. We'll have a couple of kinds of cranberry sauce, spiced carrot, sweet potato souffle, and a pineapple casserole. This is a very southern thing, and I think I'm going to do a video on it this year. It's just so good. So simple, so good. And I think the one I use is Paula Deen's recipe. So, oh my gosh, so good. You would not think that a pineapple casserole would be good, but it is. And then beverages, I usually do tea and water, sweet tea, unsweet tea, water, like with the fruit and cranberries in it. And then I always have coffee and warm apple cider. I make homemade apple cider, so I'll have that in the crock pot. Sometimes I'll do mulled wine and have that going in place of apple cider. It just really depends. It changes from year to year, but I'll at least do cider. I may do wine. And then I'll just have a whole bunch of yeast rolls, and over here in the bread rolls, I have my paper goods. So those are two things. And then my desserts, I know I'll do a couple of pumpkin pies, a couple of pecan pies, a couple of apple pies. And then I want to make these ginger molasses cookies. And I don't have it written down here, but I might do a pumpkin dip, like a pumpkin cream cheese creamy dip to dip that in. That's still on the back burner. So, and then I also, depending on how many people come, and I'm going to experiment with this recipe this weekend, is these 3-ingredient pumpkin muffins. If they're delicious, I might make them up ahead of time, do care packages, and send little packages home with everyone. That's just on my maybe list. These are just things I'm thinking about. But now that I know my meal, and I cook everything, I just find that it's easier for me to do that. If you have family and you want to potluck it, then in your invitation, by all means, put out, these are the things that I would like for someone to bring, and you can have them sign up for them. But me personally, excuse me, I just like to cook the whole meal. So I know that I'm going to be cooking for at least 30, and I'm doing the whole thing. So that's why I have multiple turkeys, multiple hams, and very large containers. So then I go dish by dish and I write out my ingredients list. I look at the recipes and I try and figure out every single item that I am going to need for that recipe, and I put it on the list. So once I have all of my ingredients out, I can start acquiring those ingredients. And the first thing I do is shop my pantry. I have a large pantry. I have it very well stocked. So I'm going to go down my list and shop my pantry, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so these are all of the items that I have already picked out of my pantry. So Chris and I had gone to Costco a few months back, actually like 7 or 8 months back, and picked up these craisins. Sorry, I have my light here. My kitchen light just is not bright enough. So I have a little light here adding some more light. So I went through everything on the list. I have pineapple that I canned there, and I'll link the Costco shopping haul and how to can pineapple. So that pineapple is for the pineapple casserole. I also, if I can do this here, let me just put this guy right here. I also have crackers that are in the pantry. This one is already open, but there's a sleeve that's unopened. This is an entire box of unopened crackers. I have cans of evaporated milk. I have cream of mushroom soup. I have Thanksgiving napkins from last year that were never opened. I have extra napkins. I always, when I see these on sale, I'll pick up great big things of these dinner napkins. So I have dessert napkins and I have dinner napkins. And then I just look through what else I have. I have a couple of things of evaporated milk for pies, cream of mushroom soup for green bean casserole. I have apple jelly that I preserved. I have fig preserves that I put up, pumpkin, pineapple. So all of this stuff I can mark off my list. The other thing I have are these giant roasting pans. This will be for the dressing, the green bean casserole, the mashed potatoes, the turkey, the ham. So I know I'm set on the really large pans. I am good to go. So I came down here to my list and marked everything off the list. I highlighted off. If I know I have it in hand, I mark it off. Now, next, I have been, like I said, picking up groceries from the grocery store every time I do a shopping haul. So that's what I have over here. I already have my dressing, my cranberry sauce, my emergency backup gravy. I can't suggest that enough. Have emergency gravy because you never know what could happen. I have had some graving disasters over the years. So I always have 1 or 2 cans on standby. I have 2 kinds of pineapple. I have the rings and the crushed for my ham and my sweet potato souffle, shells for mac and cheese, the Velveeta dip or the knockoff stuff, same thing. Fried onions for green beans, carrot syrup for pecan pie, green beans, and some more aluminum pans that I picked up because I want this size pan. Now I still am gonna get some small square ones that I can send home for people, and I'll still get to-go containers. Now all of this stuff is going to get highlighted off my list and packed into these plastic storage bins. I have 3 or 4 of them. I can stack them in my pantry. You can stack them in a closet. You can put them under a table or under your bed out of the way. That way you can buy ahead of time, put everything together so you won't accidentally use it, and tuck it away into storage. So now I know where I'm looking at. Next weekend when I go shopping, then I will start getting frozen items because I have almost all of my non-perishable items. I have just a few canned good items on here to still get, but I'll finish those off, and then next I'll go to frozen items. Once I have all of my frozen items, then I'll look down my perishable items and say, okay, what can I get the week before? And I'll get those. And then I look to see what do I need to get like a day or 2 before. Like my herbs, my fresh herbs, I always try and get those just a couple of days before Thanksgiving so they are super, super fresh. So guys, this is how I plan for Thanksgiving, and hopefully the week before Thanksgiving, everything is marked off this list except for just a couple of items that I want super, super fresh. And then also, to save yourself time, you can start making some of this stuff ahead of time. You can make your pies ahead of time, put them in the freezer, and just take them out and bake them. You can make your, dressing ahead of time. You can make your green bean casserole ahead of time, your macaroni and cheese. All of that stuff you can make and freeze like the week before, or do it a day or 2 before Thanksgiving. Put it in your fridge. It will be perfectly fine. Just warm and serve. Don't try and do everything at one time on one day. You'll just kill yourself. So I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some idea on how to plan for large parties. And you can do this on a smaller scale, but this just works for me on large scale because I've been doing it for so long. All right, guys, I hope my tips helped you out in planning for a large party. The only other thing that I forgot to mention that you might do ahead of time is print out your recipes. Most of the dishes I make, they're in here. I've done them so many times for so many years that I pretty much just don't even look at a recipe anymore. But if there's something new, like these spicy bacon wrapped meatballs, I've not done these before, but I looked at the recipe. It's a simple recipe and I know it'll be delicious. So I have the recipe printed. So if you are trying a new recipe or it's not something that you have memorized, print all your recipes ahead of time and have them on hand so that you're not scrambling trying to find something on Pinterest. If your internet goes down, you're gonna be screwed if you don't have all of your recipes printed out already and you're trying to scramble for recipe if you don't have cookbooks to go back on. People don't think of that, and it happens. So print your recipes, get a game plan, and then just enjoy the day. It's all about family and friends and spending time together. And if things are not perfect, that's okay. And I know I'm one of the worst about I want things perfect and I want things a certain way. If the fact that I do all the cooking doesn't tell you anything, yeah, I'm like that. And I really do have to take a step back and go, it's okay if it's not perfect. Just have a great time. No one's gonna notice if something doesn't match or something's not perfect. They're just gonna be there to have a great time, eating good food, enjoying time with family and friends. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more like this. And if you have any tips or suggestions, please leave them down below. Have a great day.